A very good morning to you. Welcome to our Bird Notes. This is Dwight Davis. Can you name a famous bird? It's hard. Famous dogs' names are easy to come by. Lassie and Rin Tin Tin will come to mind for a certain generation. But birds? Well, I suppose there's Woody Woodpecker, but he's not real. Nor is the Roadrunner, who doesn't have a name anyway. He's just the Roadrunner. But to get serious, there was a homing pigeon named Cher Ami, awarded the Croix de Guerre with palm for heroic service during the Battle of Verdun in World War I. That's a true story. And then there's Martha, whose death in 1914 marked the extinction of the passenger pigeon, a tragic story that we'll try to address at another time. One of the birds on my personal most famous list does not have a formal name. It's a Manx shearwater, identified as AX6587, and it's been in the record books since 1952 for a feat of orientation and navigation that is unrivaled. We've learned a lot about avian navigation over the past century, with an array of experiments showing that birds can navigate by the sun, by the stars, by visual images, and by the Earth's magnetic field, that latter idea scoffed at when first presented. We've learned so much, but I still haven't read a conclusive report of how AX6587 did it. In 1953, a very detailed monograph titled Navigation in the Manx Shearwater was published in England by G.V.T. Matthews of the University of Cambridge. He and his colleagues performed extensive, well-formulated experiments to determine the ability of this seabird to navigate. It's a thorough study, with charts and graphs and equations and footnotes, and it does show that the Manx shearwater can find its way home when released in areas unknown to the test birds. On page 8 of the report, we find this scientifically matter-of-fact information, and we quote, "In 1952, 2 shearwaters were sent by air to Boston, USA. Although the journey only involved 3 nights in the box, one died en route. The other was released in good condition in bright sunshine at 13:15 BST on 3 June. It flew east, seawards. Watch was commenced at the 2 burrows on 12 June, and on 16 June at 1:30 a.m., AX6587 was back, replacing the mate that had been there an hour earlier. The shortest distance, the Great Circle, between Boston and the home burrow is 3,050 miles. This had been covered in a little over 12 days, with a minimal daily average of 244 miles. While there is no direct evidence that the bird maintained an undeviating line for home, little room is left for diversions and none for random search." Now, in order for the bird to have accomplished this, it first had to figure out where it was. This after being transported in a box to a place it had never been, and then it had to figure out which way to go to get home. And it did it, arriving at the nest burrow in just over 12 days. Amazing. For that feat, AX6587 is rightly listed among the feathered famous, even without a proper name.